What's up, you two?
Oh, I was going to beat you to it. I'm just going to see if I could get there before you.
No chance. Hello, everybody. Right, first thing to say before I say anything further, if you're watching this after the live stream, and you've just come to check out some cool tanks, after about 24 hours, maybe even quicker, there will be timestamps below, so you can just click on each tank and see, just scroll through and see some cool tanks. If that's the only thing you're here for, check out the timestamps. For everybody else, Ryan, hello. I am. Oh yeah, let's do a proper intro. So, welcome to the Prestige Reef Dork show. I am Alex, aka Reef Dork, and with me, as always, is Ryan, aka Prestige Reef, who is too good to have his actual name on the screen.
That's true. That's true. So I was confused when that option came up. I was like, I'm not sure what to put, so I'll just put the same as usual.
Well, there you go. But yeah, I like that it says Alex and Reef Dork, because there'll be some people who click on this and like which one's which. And I like people to know my name, because it's weird when people call me Reef Dork. It makes sense, but it's like, oh, you're Reef Dork, and you're like, oh yeah, I suppose I am. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do. I know what you mean. It's when I'm at a fish shop and I hear Prestige, it's Prestige, but then I don't want people shouting, it's Ryan.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And a couple of other things to say. So first off, this is now available as a podcast on Apple Podcasts. It's been available on Spotify and Google Podcasts for a while. It is now on Apple Podcasts too. And if you enjoy it and you listen to a podcast, do me a favor and leave a rating. If you don't enjoy it, just don't bother. Keep leaving a rating, because I'm only interested in positive feedback. I don't want to hear any of this nonsense. It's rubbish. Get rid of the bald guy, that sort of stuff. Just positive feedback.
That'll be me putting that review.
Exactly. And there was so actually we both had, you don't know this, we've both had temperature problems this week in our tanks.
We both, as in me and you.
Yeah. You very, very limited.
Oh, what, when there was a power cut, do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And yours dropped by like what, 0.2 degrees?
No, it was 0.7 over 3 hours.
1 degree Fahrenheit, so nothing basically.
Yeah.
But I was at work, and one of my plug sockets, I've got a Wi-Fi plug, and that just stopped working, and it turned off my return pumps.
Really?
So for the entire day, and I was at work, I didn't know what was going on. My missus told me, she was like, "There's an alarm going off," and I phoned her and I was like, "Can you turn that off? Turn that on again? Turn that off." And it was the ATO, it was the Tunzi auto top off, because the backup thing turned off.
Yeah.
I was like, that's weird. I was like, just turn it off. I'll sort it when I get back. But it's because the return pumps had turned off. So my tank normally sits at 25 degrees C, and it was 23.3 or something when I got back.
That's not too bad.
An entire day, it dropped 2 degrees, 4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's nothing.
Yeah. No, what I mean is even the temperature drop itself is not too bad.
No, it made no difference. Yeah.
Sometimes people will send me an email when they buy corals. I just sort of thought I'd put this out there, and they'll say, "Oh, I've tested the water temperature and it's 21 degrees or it's 20 degrees." When corals come in from Indonesia, sometimes they're in 16 degrees.
Yeah.
So they can survive a temperature drop. I just thought I'd mention it because it was in context of
Yeah. Indeed, and people always say that because it feels like, and I've got corals before, and I mean, oh, that water feels cold. But yeah, I was surprised it only dropped 2 degrees. I thought an entire day with no heating. Obviously, the power heads were on.
Yeah.
An entire day no heating. But that was cool. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know these things. As I said, I was glad to know that even with 3 hours, there was hardly any fall at all. So for me,
yeah. So you know that you're.
And some of the corals were out of the water. Obviously, you obviously saw the picture I sent it to you. Were probably 2 or 3 inches out of the water. Still fine.
And funnily enough, so I've got one coral that I've stuck to the side of my tank. It's an acropora, a hyacinthus, a tabling one, and the base of it is based out over the edge. So half the base was out of water the entire day.
Yeah.
My missus phoned me at 9 a.m. and I got back at 7 o'clock, something like that. The entire day it was out of water, absolutely fine.
Yeah. So corals can last longer than we think.
Exactly. There are times when, like, if I've got corals out of water, if I'm just dipping them or working out where to put them, if it's a new coral, sometimes I'm like, get it in quick.
Yeah.
But a day, it was fine.
It does make you wonder if they can survive literally out of water for an entire day. How do we manage to kill them sometimes?
Well, yeah, because it's funny because corals, in a sense, corals are extremely resilient and extremely hardy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're also extremely finicky and extremely delicate.
Well,
It's
you
weird.
you couldn't keep a fish out of water all day. Well, not most fish anyway.
No, keep a mud skipper. That's about it. But there you go. I just thought it was interesting. I just 2-degree drop in a day and everything was fine, and a coral being out of water.
Yeah.
And now we've done that, we're going to go to membership stuff. There's not. Oh, actually, there's five member comments. There was pretty much nothing out there. So, oh yeah, one guy was talking about my printer, my 3D printer, but I've answered that question and we just had a chat. And the other thing, so this is from BN3 Reefing, who is a copper.
I know, I've met him. He doesn't come see me anymore. I think I've upset him.
Oh, have you? Well, maybe he wants to stay away from you because he knows you're a criminal and he'll have to arrest you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
But he says, the best I've ever seen is the monster setup belonging to Jamie's Reef. But how do you both get to this? Is it down to how much you're willing to spend or just time? And the reason I thought that was worth talking about is he says, how do you both get to this? I don't know if he means you and Jamie's Reef because you have a lot of water, or if he just means me and you. I'm going to assume he means me and you. How do you have like success long term? Is it about spending money or time?
Oh, do you mean how has Jamie had success long term?
No,
how did it escalate that much?
How have you and me? I think let's answer it that way.
Consistency. I got into a routine a long time ago. Basically, my parents said to me when I was 18, if that tank ever looks anything but pristine, we'll get rid of it. And I knew they meant it because I moved it in without them knowing.
Right,
I moved the desk and computer out of the study, put the tank in there and set it up, and it was too late for them. So I was a bit naughty.
It's easier to get forgiveness than permission.
And they literally said to me, if that ever looks dirty or green or algae or anything like that, we will have it removed. And it got me into a very, very good routine. My parents are like, my father especially, he's harsh basically, and he meant it. He once told me when I was younger that if I do so again, he'll stamp on my brand new Game Boy, and he did. So I knew that he meant it, but it got me into a good routine, and that basically is what I think gets you to the level that better. I'm not like higher, the higher levels of reefing, if you see what I mean. Consistency and routine and caring.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's about money so much. That you can buy success to a degree, but it's only a very small percentage of it. So you can, if you gave, I've said this a few times in videos, if you gave someone, you've frozen on your back. If you gave someone who put in a ton of effort and a ton of time, a £5,000 budget, and then gave someone who's not really interested a £50,000 budget, the £5,000 budget would be 10 times more successful.
Yeah.
So it's you get out what you put in, and it's all about diligence. And so you and me are obsessed with the hobby. There's not a minute in the day I don't spend thinking about corals and fish and what I could improve and all these sorts of things, and talking to people as well.
Yeah,
because really, I want to hear as many voices as I can, but I want to work stuff out myself. So it's very rare that if someone says something to me, I'll just be like, I'll listen to that and I'll do it. I want to know people's opinions, but I want to work stuff out myself, and that I personally think that's the best way to do it, because there's 1,000 ways to keep a tank.
Yeah.
There's no one recipe that works for everybody. So you need to work out what works for you and be able to figure things out, and even being able to problem shoot is a big thing.
I think also you can set yourself up for failure as well. So if you get into the hobby and you immediately buy a load of acropora and you don't know what you're doing, you set yourself up for failure. If you want to go down an easier path, especially at first, stay away from Xenia. That's a terrible idea. But set yourself up in a way that you're going to be more successful. If you're buying, for example, a yellow tang as your first fish, or you're buying a copper band for your first fish, the chances are you're going to have more success. More people will have more success buying a yellow tang than they will buy a copper band. And I said yellow tang. Yeah. The yellow tang is actually a bad example because they're now well expensive. So, but back when I started, they were like £20.
But that's very true as well. And if you there are certain things you can do that will just make life easier for you. Don't go for SPS to start with. And there might be times when you hear someone say SPS are easy.
Yeah.
And in some context that is true, and some SPS corals can be easy. But if it's your first coral, forget it.
Yeah,
because it's going to do all sorts of shit to your water that you don't know about, you don't understand yet because you've not been in it. So just steer clear of SPS. Take your time, do water changes, test all the time, and avoid finicky fish. There are some, just figure out the basics is the way to get started, I think. But anyway, I hope that answers the question. And he did say that it was about us guys. So there you go.
Okay, I was gonna say because Jamie actually, I don't think even had a tank before that big tank. So Jamie has it's ridiculously large tank, which he invited me today to get into, which sounds a bit weird. There he is. He's in the chat. I don't think he had a tank before that massive tank. I think one day he just went, I'm going to go for it, and he did it.
9 foot long, is it?
Something like that. It's ridiculous.
3 feet tall, he said, I remember. But yeah, it's a big old tank.
There is a very high chance that I'm going to get into that tank at some point because he obviously helps me out and he wants someone to help him place corals. So you're going to see me in his tank at some point.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of tanks so big that you need to climb into them. Because I was talking actually, Jamie. So Jamie, really nice guy, really nice to meet you today, by the way. He came and bought a couple of corals off me, and his tank is 3 feet tall.
Yeah,
and I've got relatively long arms, but if I go to the bottom of my 2 foot tall tank, I'm getting wet armpits. I need to pull my my t-shirt up, get my biceps out. So a 3 foot tall tank, that I just wouldn't want that. It's just because you literally have to get in, is from what you're saying. So
yeah.
And if you have to do that, you're not gonna do it. You need to make life easy for yourself.
It's interesting because obviously some of the tanks that we have picked for the best tanks on social media or whatever are not necessarily tanks that we would have. Like if in the same circumstances, I might have them, but I wouldn't necessarily have. I wouldn't want a tank that was 3 foot deep ever.
No, and this is the
pain to clean.
Well, this is the thing. So we were talking earlier about what was it about the tanks and like so we don't know which ones we've chosen, but there was one in particular that you mentioned. I'm sure you've got it. That I was like, if you gave me all the money in the world, I wouldn't have that tank, and I'll tell you why when we get there. But there's just and there's no rules for it. So let's get started with it. There's no rules for this. You can choose whatever tank you want. It doesn't have to be one that I don't know that you would get yourself. It just has to be. I've just chosen, and I've actually got 8. You've got 6, but we'll try to limit it to 5 each.
I got 7 now.
7. Well, we'll do 5 each, and then we'll show the others as well, because why not?
Okay.
But it's just I just went looking for tanks that I like, and there are so some of these tanks. You'll watch this and think, God, that tank is absolutely amazing. And other people there'll be a tank that you or I have chosen. Other people will be like, yeah, it's all right.
See, I've got a feeling you're going to have picked interesting tanks, whereas I've just sort of like you might. I don't know. You might have picked a species only tank, for example, where it's all scullies or something like that. Whereas I've picked tanks. What I realized, I picked tanks actually nothing to do with based on the coral, completely based on the fish that they keep in the tank and whether it seems like it's an impossible thing to do. That's what I picked mine on.
There were 2 tanks that I did think to put in that I didn't in the end that just had really nice fish choices. But I didn't go for those. But I tell you what, let's kick off then. So you wanted to go first, didn't you?
Yes. Just very quickly, everyone, I am still recovering from COVID, basically. So I'm trying to mute it when I'm coughing, but that's why I'm coughing so much. Right, the first one, Polo's Reef. Your mate, Polo's Reef.
Now, he text me. Is that?
Now, I couldn't not put this in here because if you think about it, this is one of the most impressive tank. In fact, this probably is the most impressive tank in someone's house on the internet. Now, there might be some that aren't on the internet, but it is crazy what he's done. And the amount of corals combined with the amount of coral eating fish is what makes it stand out to me. The only thing that I will say is he obviously has a whole team of people to look after that tank. He may look after some of it himself as well. I'm sure he does. But in terms of, as I said a minute ago, would I want a tank that was over 3 foot deep if I'm maintaining it myself? Absolutely not.
Well, I think this is 14 foot deep, as in tall, top to bottom. So, and this is the tank that I said, if you gave me all the money in the world, because he spent a lot of money on this tank, let's face it, you and I probably couldn't quite afford it, almost, but But if you gave me all the money in the world, I wouldn't have a tank like this. It's not that it's not an awesome tank; it is, no doubt about it. But like, even if I on my tank that is a 4 foot long peninsula, if I stand at one end and look through 4 feet of water,
Yeah,
it's a little bit hazy unless I've used activated carbon. So this, when you've got 20 feet of water, and one thing, this is the Tidal Gardens video. One thing I noticed with this is Tidal Gardens. Than is just the best videographer in the hobby.
yeah.
And yet, for me, the tank doesn't look that spectacular in this video because there's so much water, because it's not possible to get the perfect, like, really nice shots.
Yeah, but are you, when you're looking at it, you're probably not looking at it from. Do you understand what I mean? I don't know if you can see better or worse when you're not looking at it through a video. Like, there's stuff, if I try and film my tank, and there's stuff I can see far better than what the camera can see sometimes, unless it's really
100%. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I think I don't like that much water. But having said that, this is, it's look at that. That's not bad, is it?
Look, it's
anemones.
The thing that stands out the most to me, absolutely, is the collection of fish.
Mm-hmm.
He has plenty of other nice tanks. Which they're still very nice, but they're not like this tank. There's a couple of things that do stand out that I'm not a fan of, and it seems to happen all the time in really big tanks.
Mm-hmm.
The tangs rip each other apart, some of them. So some of the yellow tangs in there don't have any fins.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happens in huge tanks. I don't know if it's because the fish are really old, and most of us have sort of younger fish, but when there's so many of them, because it happened in David Saxby's tank as well.
It's funny, isn't it?
But yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but I think it's obviously a very, very impressive tank.
But that's it. And when I say I wouldn't have it, that's the limit of it. It doesn't mean that I don't look at this and think that's an absolutely astonishing tank, because it's fantastic, and I love the tank. It's just I just wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
But I also love the fish as well. So he's got I can't remember what so for a start, there's this one here is a bandit angel.
Yeah,
which you were close to getting for your tank.
Oh, if I could get one, I might.
Exactly, yeah. And they are amazing. There's another angel he's got. I can't remember what it's called. I think they were quite expensive.
Do you know what he doesn't have though? Doesn't have a king eye angel, as far as I know.
I bet he does.
He probably does. I've never seen it in any of the videos.
Maybe, but either way, whatever. Even the bannerfish, they're so cool, and they're all like all people. Oh, a pink tail trigger as well.
Yeah,
there's loads of people always say that these fish are like dinner plate size as well. So when you see it, it's just like amazing. And I bet if I saw this in the flesh, I'd be like, oh wow, that's absolutely astonishing. So just it's really cool. But I just wouldn't have it, is all I'm saying. But I'm not saying that's a bad choice at all. And it had to be on this video. You couldn't have a video 10 best tanks on the internet without that.
Yeah, of course. I'm intrigued by what your one is now.
I know. Well, the thing is this. I think that we're going to be less competitive this week, because at the end
we're not. I'm in it to win it.
I'm going to be less competitive, because at the end of the day, this is really, for me, this is just about showing off some cool tanks. But I will still put it to the vote to see what people think. And I'm going to go for something at the other end of the scale.
Oh, really?
Okay. I'm going to go for a nano tank. And it's called Mike's Killer Nano. It was on Reef Builders. This is a Reef Builders video.
Yeah.
And it's just like chalice heaven. All the flows off at the moment, which is a slight shame, because stuff looks cooler. But that might be him. I don't know.
I think that's him.
But
he looks like a reefer, doesn't he?
Yeah, different kind of reefer maybe. But just that as a nano tank, that is pretty sweet. It doesn't get much better than that for me. And like the A cans are just so fluffy and colourful and healthy. All the chalices are amazing. I spent hours looking at those chalices.
Do you know what's interesting?
Pause it there.
That they're all so close to each other, because chalices absolutely will sting the hell out of each other.
Oh, chalices are vicious. I've got a WWC Stellaria chalice. If you look at it, it'll burn your eyes out. It's vicious towards any other coral. If it touches something straight away, the whole thing melts. A couple of people commented, "Oh, I'd like to see an update of this," and no one replied. I bet that this tank would have got to a point quite quickly, because it's a small tank, whereby it wasn't workable anymore. And actually,
of course. How big is it?
Oh, it's not big at all. It's less than 2 foot cube, 18-inch cube, I reckon, probably.
Oh, yeah,
So it's
really,
not
it
big.
really is little. Actually, you can see
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
It's like our desktop tank.
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you can see it. Yeah.
But that it's just I love that tank, and this is one of the tanks that I was really into when I first got into the hobby, and I watched this video a lot. It's got like 100,000 views. About 80% of that is me, I think.
I'm impressed by how fluffy the acans are. I am impressed by that.
My acans don't look anything. I think he's probably not giving it a lot of par, because my acans, and I've got a lot of par in my tank anyway. My acans are all shriveled and receded.
Chaz can survive under lower light, so
yeah, and well, it's all LPS, so they all like lower light.
Yeah,
and he's using a Kessel, and Kessel doesn't kick out a lot. No, they're not rubbish. They don't have a lot of juice.
It's because you love Kessels, and I don't like them because they have shimmer, and that's the only reason I don't like them.
I was talking to Jamie's Reef today, and he was asking what I was going to change or something like that on the tank. He was like, "Not your lights, I take it." And I was like, "I kind of want to change my lights."
Really? To what? I got Jamie was impressed by my new lights, so maybe those.
No, they're not quite my cup of tea. But I don't like the Kessels are great. There's no problem with them, but the Reef Brights, they're just not. They're wicked. They're just not to my taste. They're not what I wanted. The AI blades, I might swap them out for them instead, because they are more the royal blue 450 nanometer, and that's what I wanted.
I think that we need to have an intervention with you, because you have a problem. You have a problem. I put lights on and don't even think about them ever again. I don't change the settings. I just put them on and go, "Yep, that'll do."
I know. But yeah, there's also, and I was also thinking, actually, I've got I'll just post a poll on that.
Do you look at other people's tanks and go, "Oh, that could do with a bit of shimmer, or that could do with"?
Yeah.
Do you?
Sometimes, yeah.
I don't.
So I notice differences in light, and actually, I've got on my tank up here, I've got a Reef Factory light, and it looks now. That used to be a frag tank. It was an egg crate frag rack covered in a load of boring frags, basically, or not boring, but just frags, and it looked drab. Now I've put in a load of gunnies and pectinias and favias and all these things. Yeah. It looks amazing, and that light is wicked. So I'm wondering about giving Reef Factory a call as well and saying, "Do you want to send me some of those?" But I should just leave it. Anyway,
well, I would do it if you want. Just give it a go.
A decision for another day. And unsurprisingly, Polo Reef is winning 70-30.
I'm surprised. Surprised it's that much. There's nothing wrong with your suggestion. As I said but this was before we started when I spoke to you. It's like, how can you? These tanks are so different. Sometimes you can get like one of those really small nano tanks. It's got like not this big, but like a really small tank. Or a Reef vase tank would have been a good one as well.
No, I really don't like them.
I don't like them because they'd be a pain in the ass, but they look cool.
I don't think they do. Well, I'm just not into them.
Well, we both know that you're don't have the best taste in basically any. Oh yeah, that's one. I got two.
I'm only one behind.
That's true. That's true.
But there we go. So we've got Polo versus, do you know what? Ryan 1. I'm going to put you down as 1.
Ryan 1.
Alex 0. So there you go. So I'll end that poll. 62 votes. There's not many votes, actually.
Where are the votes?
Plenty of people watching, just not many votes. End poll anyway. So we had that finished with 71% preferred Polo Reef.
The reason for that there's not as many votes is because I only start voting with all my different accounts when I start losing.
Exactly.
So
one thing actually, whilst we're here, if you enjoy these live streams, make sure you're subscribed. You might not be, so make sure you're subscribed, because we do them every week and they're wicked, aren't they, Ryan?
Let's see if we can get Alex's number behind him. I was so disappointed because I hoped that the number behind you would go up and down 1 every time you got a new subscriber. And what I was going to do is publicly on the screen unsubscribe from you to see if it went down. But
it goes up every 100, and it's currently at 50. The true number is 55,498. I just checked. So I need 2 more subscribers. It'll go up to 55.5, and then you can unsubscribe.
Nice. I'll give it a go.
And if I get to 55.5, that's the same as you.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's probably true.
So I'm close to overtaking you. So
Well, it will happen, as I've said for ages. It's going to happen.
it'll probably happen. It'll happen in the next week, I think, probably. But anyway.
Oh, so everyone unsubscribe from Alex's channel and go subscribe to mine.
He's just so unpleasant, isn't he?
I'm almost 600, so I'm just under 600.
There you go.
So.
Anyway, so 1-0 to Ryan so far. Interesting.
Oh, it's me again, isn't it?
No. I'm going first this time.
Oh, you're going first this time, okay.
None of this. Although
well, it usually goes first. So we've changed in the order now this time.
Well, I think this is fair. We alternate.
We never alternate normally, but it's fine.
Yeah, we do. Anyway. All right. So my next one is Reef Bum.
Oh, a good choice.
Keith. And this tank is not that old. I think it's 2 years old, maybe. The coral growth is insane. Acropora, they grow like crazy, and he's chosen some. He's got the same lights as you. But he's chosen some really nice colors. A couple of these. This is some of them have done the annoying thing where some grow massive and others don't grow too big, so you don't get even growth, and that bothers me in my tanks when it happens. But that is a healthy acropora tank.
Yeah, you can tell he knows what he's doing.
He knows how to keep aggros.
I'm going against this one, aren't I? So
but this is the thing. They're all nice tanks, and you can appreciate them. But this is so as an acropora fan like me, it doesn't get much better than Reef Bum. Look at the basing out of those Monties.
Those Monties at the bottom, yeah.
And this 2 years old. It might be 3 years old at a push. It's not. I think it's 2 years old though. It's just insane what he's done. And this is, for me, pretty much the perfect size. I think it's 6 foot long, 3 foot wide, and 2 foot tall. 6 by 3 by 2. And that is, if I could have any size tank, that would be it. I don't know if I'd have a peninsula, but I like that it's got 3 sides.
He's got the aquascape right. So often you see people with like SPS tanks.
Not too much.
And they build it always at the top, and then the SPS are at the surface. So even in this tank, I'm going to be not building basically above the 50% line of the tank, because I assume a lot of it will be SPS, and that's basically what he's done. It's not too high.
So I've gone. My tool escape is about 50% up. In hindsight, I think 60 or 70% would be perfect. Okay. But it was deliberate. I did the same on my last tank. The SPS were growing right out the water surface, and I didn't want that. But this the other thing I like about Escape is that it's minimalist, because what it's tempting to do is pack in a load of rocks so you've got as much space as possible for corals. And he hasn't done what I've done. So I buy a rock that's like a foot square, and I put like 1,000 frags on it.
Yeah.
And it turns out SPS gets quite big.
Yeah. They all fight each other.
Exactly. He's been a bit more sensible. He's not got a ton of rock, and he's not put 1 million corals in there. They've still got quite a few in there, but they've got space to grow. And when they grow, and when a proper colony grows out, it looks awesome.
Do you know if they started as frags, or did he start with bigger pieces?
They mostly did. I've not watched all of his videos, but I've watched a lot, and he started with, I think most of them were frags. He's got a couple of other tanks that he probably moved colonies across from. But a lot of these were frags. So this is not like he's just put in a big tank.
Then that is insane. Like the fact that they started as frags 2 years ago.
And like, for the first 6 months to a year or something, he had dinos, he had all sorts of problems.
To some extent, just keeping them alive for 2 years is impressive, let alone having them grow. But
and he's got his fishes. Sorry.
You know what I mean? It's like it's not a small thing. I have seen that tank before. I'm not really into following obviously other people, but because he had the same lights as me, that's the reason I've seen it. But it's very very impressive. I didn't see it when it was at this level of growth, if you see what I mean.
No, but it's just blown up. And his fish choice as well. So he's got a few pyramid butterflies. I'm not a massive fan of pyramid butterflies, because I find up close they look a bit drab, but they look cool on camera.
Up close, they think you look a bit drab.
Oh, I do. He's got a Regal Angel. He's got a powder blue tang. That's pretty much the best tang you can get. Well, one of them anyway. And he's just, they're wicked. I think it's a really cool tank.
Oh, this is going to be a tough one to beat.
It is.
I'm going to see. I don't know if I want to go for this one because there's something you can say which will just absolutely destroy me. But if I said, I remember I mentioned there was a tank that if I told you there was you could guess what it was without me actually telling you exactly who it is. If I told you there's a tank that's got an absolutely pristine white base, it's a bottomless, it's a bare bottom tank. It's massive.
It's a Swiss bloke.
It's not a Swiss bloke, I don't think. It is someone from Europe.
Wesley.
No, Emotions. No. There's a lady. You definitely must know.
You're gonna have to give me more than Emotions. What is that? Is this on Instagram?
Moceans.
Oh, let me bring this up. Is it this?
Yes, that tank. I don't know how it's kept that clean. It is insane, that tank.
So, okay, before I start saying the bad things about it, tell me why you love it.
Because the owner of that tank is very pretty. But that's one of the reasons I love it. I just think it looks absolutely pristine. And you know what's interesting? The person, Jenny, obviously was at the house earlier, as you know. When I said to him, what tanks would you recommend? He knew this one, and he was suggested this one. Okay. I think that I know what's happened to this tank. Do you know what's happened to this tank?
No, what?
It's been restarted for some reason, but I don't know why. I don't think you've got the best picture of it compared to the last one, but it's just the focus is specifically on the livestock.
Yeah. So the thing that is a lovely tank. And by the way, so there's a risk with this stream. Oops, hang on. There's a risk with this stream that that you and I say bad things about people's tank, and those people watch this stream. So we're just chatting. We're not.
No, that's nothing bad.
We're not trying to be offensive, but what I would say, but if someone was critically analysing my tank, I probably wouldn't like it. But this tank, for me, it looks like a lab.
Yeah, but when was the last time you saw a reef tank that looked that amazingly clean? Never.
But
you should be able to appreciate the effort that's gone into that.
I do, and the corals look fantastic. The corals look very healthy. Again, I like the minimalist aquascape. The corals are nicely grown out. She's thought really carefully about placement, not like me again, because they're all evenly spaced. I can see the Raja Rampage chalice at the bottom, so she's thought about a bit of LPS in there. I like the staghorn as well. That's cool. But that's too clean for me. I don't like that. It's like
I've always wondered.
Looks unnatural.
I've always wondered how it was kept that clean. I did actually email her and message her once, but
okay.
Have you got the Instagram thing? Because there's some amazing videos of all the fish moving as well.
Let me see if I can find that. But
it's under mrs.emotions is what the thing.
Oh, okay. So I'm on a different page, but it is that tank. But that is probably kept clean by a lot.
Just find one video of it. Like there's a video from the 10th of October 2022, which is not that far back. It just looks amazing, and I think it gives it a fair fight compared to the one that you had.
Okay, here we go.
I think seeing all the fish move. You've put the same thing up.
It's a close. I can't find a video. I can't find a video, I'm afraid. Oh, there we go. I don't. It's an astonishing tank, a real achievement, and it's very, very impressive. I just don't like how clinical it looks.
I think it looks amazing.
I agree. It's just
the only thing it needs is sand, because I don't like bare bottom tanks.
But and the way that has been kept so clean. Well, Reef Bums was a bare bottom tank. The way that's been kept clean is a lot of effort and a lot of work.
Les has got it right. There you go. Les is voting for me.
I'm voting for Ryan because she's super hot.
There you go. Do we need more reason for Ryan to win?
Keith is a handsome bloke as well, Reef Bum. So I'm voting for him because he's good looking.
Because he's super hot too.
But that's the thing. That is a very, very impressive tank. But what the way it's kept so clean, there are probably two things, I would guess. One, a lot of ongoing maintenance, and I'm far too lazy to make a tank look anything like as immaculate as that. Yeah. But two, that will be. They will take extra effort when they're videoing the tank. There are times when whenever I video the tank, there'll be algae in the corner. Obviously, I put a bit of carbon in sometimes. I clean algae off the tank, but I don't make a massive effort. Whereas this person, obviously, I would guess. I mean, that you don't get a tank looking like that by just doing occasional maintenance. So she obviously puts in a lot of effort. But that would be when she videos it, she'll make it look spotless.
I think that the rocks actually move. I think she can move those rocks, which is what stops them, which is how she keeps it so clean. Because how else would you keep it so clean? Because algae would grow everywhere.
A lot of it, you'd have to scrape the bottom. Actually, think.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but that's a lot of effort goes into that. And how close do you think this would be? Who do you think would win? Actually,
I'm surprised. I thought it'd be closer than it's going to be, but
85% Reef Bum.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised because, I quite like the fact that it's a very different looking tank. I know it does look sterile.
I agree, but this is it that I can't think says it looks sterile, and that's and this is like I don't want to be having a go at this person.
Yeah, but they can't think.
What do you mean? Oh right, I see. And that's why I think that's why it hasn't won, because it's very impressive. There was a guy I knew a while ago who had a tank that just it looked like a lab tank as well, and his corals looked fantastic, but it just looked a bit there was no art in it, if you know what I mean. And it's just not my cup of tea, but I can very much appreciate it.
It's so clean, it makes me nervous. That tank, now that I'm losing, I can tell you that tank, I don't know what happened to it, but it is no longer around and they've just restarted. So
I wouldn't be, I mean, obviously those corals are extremely healthy and they look fantastic. They look in better condition than my corals, but I wouldn't be surprised if that had some kind of crash.
It's because she disappeared for a while. So I wondered if that's what happened.
Because I would guess that if you run your tank like that, your sump is probably immaculate as well. So where are the filter feeders? Where are the sponges? Where there's all sorts of things that contribute to a healthy system that don't necessarily look pretty. And if you don't have that, that feels to me like it would be on a knife edge. So I wouldn't be surprised. It might just be that she didn't fancy making videos anymore, but I wouldn't be surprised if that crashed, because that
something definitely happened.
Oh really?
Only because I think it said that something bad happened. Also, there was a post that made me go, something bad did happen.
But because you always say that you think my tank is on a knife edge, that tank to me looks on a proper knife edge.
I'll give you that.
But I'm going to end the poll because it was a landslide.
I was just impressed that it was so well kept. It's the same. I appreciate your tank because I know what it takes to grow those sorts of corals, and I appreciate Polo's tank because I know what it takes to have such a massive tank and look after it and make it all stable and look good. And I appreciate that tank because it was spotless, and my tank never looks spotless.
No, and there so a couple of people saying it didn't crash. They did they're doing a new scape and polish the acrylic.
Oh, there you go.
And to be fair, that tank is clearly, for a start, looked after by a very skillful reefer, and also has a lot of effort put into it. So although it looks to me like it's on a knife edge, that's someone who cares about their tank and is very talented. So but yeah, it's just and a photo shoot tank. I think that's probably a fair way to describe it.
Yeah. Well, I liked it anyway.
No, and it's not.
How did it get 81%? That is insane.
But Reef Bum's tank is fantastic, and his corals are as healthy as hers. I don't think he's done the scape as well as her, and I don't think he's done placement of corals as well as her, because that emotions, that's like textbook. Yeah. But his tank is just wicked. I got a lot of time, and people know and like Reef Bum. He's a nice guy, isn't he?
I wondered if part of that came into it as well.
Maybe
because he's got a few followers around.
But there we go. All right. So all right. So what's your next question? What's your next tank? Sorry, then.
I'm going for another female reefer actually, which is Angelica's reef. And the reason I like this one,
yes, she's got a Moorish idol, right?
She does, but she also has some angelfish as well. I need to get it up on my pitch.
I think I follow her. That sounds creepy, doesn't it?
It's the variety of fish that made this stand out to me, with the corals as well that she's keeping. So the fact she has a Moorish idol, which is eating, healthy, and hasn't been destroyed by other fish, puts her high up there as it is. And
is surrounded by LPS that apparently it isn't eating.
Exactly.
That's not bad going.
That gives me hope. I think I thought she had one of my the angelfish I've just got. I thought she had one of those, but I think she has.
I think I saw one actually. Let me have a look.
I was sure of that, but she definitely has a what's the other one?
She's got a white-tailed coal tang, lady of fine taste.
And she has a gold flake in there, and she has
gold flake.
A multi-bar angel. Multi-bars are not easy to keep. They're one of the harder.
No, they're not. Yeah.
There's the multi-bar in the background. Just saw it.
Midas plenty.
So
she got good tasting fish. Oh no, she got a Melanaris for us. I'll take it all back.
Melanarises are amazing. So see this. If someone said to me, "What tank would I have?" All the tanks, like realistically, like I'm not going to get Polo's Reef. But if my tank could look like this with these fish in it, that would be perfect for me. These fish and those corals.
Yeah, okay. And so this isn't on my list, but I almost chose this again because of the fish. And actually, all the videos I've clicked through of fish, the corals, they're lovely, but for me, if you didn't have this such an awesome fish collection, you would look at that tank and you'd be like, "That's awesome," but it wouldn't be like next level awesome. And I think the fish selection takes that to the next level.
I'm sorry. When was the last time you had a Moorish idol in with all those LPS corals?
That's what I'm saying. We're saying the same thing. The fish is the impressive part. It's a lovely tank, but the difference between this and amazing. Go on.
If you just had a Moorish idol in a tank, it wouldn't be impressive. If you had the thing that makes this tank special is the fact that you're keeping fish with corals that they should eat.
Oh, I see. That's not what makes it impressive to me. If you just had those corals with a load of wrasses, like a load of Halicoris wrasses, it would be an 8 out of 10. Adding those fish in because they're so spectacular, that takes it to a 10 out of 10. So for me, the tank is amazing. It's lovely, but what makes it awesome? What makes it really awesome? Because there are other tanks that look as nice as that, but not just without the fish. But if you add the fish in, then that takes it to the next level. That's my take on it.
I think that you played this tactically. I've just realized you put up the chalice tank against Polo's Reef because you thought there's no chance of beating Polo's Reef. So that's the reason you put that one up there.
I didn't think of that. I didn't think of an order to do this. But,
didn't you?
No. But I'm going to go with the next one then. Oh God, do I want to bring out the big guns, Ryan?
They're eating flake food, Les. Just so you know, I don't know what flake food is, but it's some sort of flake food. It's really bright red. That flake food for some reason.
Yeah, it was bright. And actually, the coal tang, that white-tailed coal tang, I think that lighting is quite. I think she's probably using an orange filter that pulls out a lot of the blue because that coal tang. They don't look quite as bright as that. And I'm not saying, I'm not criticizing the photography before you jump on me.
Like you are.
No. It's just so I think if you saw that with the eye, it would look slightly bluer because she's not trying to get it so it looks all manicured and saturated. She's trying to get it to look how you look to the eye. But I think that looks a little bit. So
far, I've messaged Polo, your mate. I've messaged Mrs. Emotions, and I've messaged Angelica to tell them that you said their tanks were shit.
Okay. Well, I haven't said any of those. And actually, just before I go on to my option for this, Lincoln Town says, Alex, how is your tank on a knife edge? I don't think it is, but you always think it is, Ryan.
Only because of the corals that you keep. Anyone that keeps those sorts of corals, in comparison to other corals, they are on a knife edge.
They are a pain in the ass. And there's always, anytime, if you ever, like people who come to my house, they'll always be like, "Oh, your tank looks wicked." And I'm like, "Yeah, that coral's not quite right. And this one isn't growing properly. And the colors, it's not quite as like," there's always something, that's SPS. So that's probably, I think that's why.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to bring out the big guns. We're going to go with Angelica's Reef against Coral Euphoria.
Oh, I've got Coral Euphoria on my list.
Oh well, not anymore. We haven't. This Coral Euphoria for a start is the YouTuber I want to be. He's amazing, and he's the acropora keeper I want to be as well. His corals, look at that. Yes, I mean the colors, how healthy do they look? One or two of my acropora look as healthy as these. One or two, out of 100. All of his are mind-blowingly perfect. Look at the creamy tips.
If you showed that tank to someone who didn't know about tanks, or you show Angelica's tank to someone who didn't know about tanks, which one would they pick?
This one.
No, not a chance. And do you know why?
Wavy
People
LPS.
love movement.
Yeah, that's true.
And and there's no movement in like, don't get me wrong, that tank is one of my favorite tanks. It pains me to go up against it because I should have gone with it. But yeah, it is we appreciate it because we know what it takes to get the tank to look like that. But most people,
this is true, but the main reason I appreciate it is just because it just looks, the corals are just so healthy. I've never seen acropora that healthy.
Yeah, no, like I said, even I'm voting for you, probably on this one.
It's just this is for me. If this is the top 10 tanks on the internet, this is the best tank on the internet, in my opinion. If I had to choose one, it would be this one.
I would say it's the most impressive tank. Okay. In terms of when you like knowing what it takes to get that tank, if you see what I mean. It's not the biggest, it's not like, but it is, when you look at it, you go, yeah, that's a special tank.
Coral warfare. And the thing is, so he doesn't dose a load of different trace elements. He doesn't do all sorts of funky things. He doesn't change his lights every 6 months like some dickheads like me. he just keeps it simple, follows the basics, tests quite regularly. He's got a ton of flow, a massive covering of light, and he puts in a lot of effort to maintenance. He's just.
I was surprised that Acro was beating that Leptoceras then.
I'd say why Leptoceras is a bit of a wimp, actually. Doesn't ever fight anything.
Or doesn't say about Leptoceras and their owners.
Are they the same? But just that tank is just next level. So I'm gonna stop it. I can watch that video all day long, and so that is my favorite of his tanks. What's up?
How can someone say that Angelica's tank is more of a fish collection? It's not a reef tank. It's literally like a full-blown reef tank with nice fish
in a way, that's what I'm saying. It's because it is a reef tank. But the thing that stands out for me for that tank is the fish. Yeah. The fish set against the back. If that was a fish only tank, it wouldn't look the same. But those fish set against those corals is the fish that make it as awesome as it is, I think. But there you go. And I'm afraid no contest. Coral Euphoria, the best tank on YouTube.
No, I know what you mean. As I said, I agree with you. There is what I have noted. The problem is because you know what you're doing in advance, you find Tidal Gardens videos or Coral Euphoria's video all zoomed in and changing, and then you're like, here's a picture of Ryan's option.
Well, I did say before the stream, I should line up all of yours because I anticipated this being an issue.
Yeah,
but I had the videos of Angelica's reef. That was
it was you won fair and square because as I said, I would have voted for you. And as I said, it is on my list. It's just lower down on my list. I don't know why it's lower down. It was one of the last ones I picked. It's going in the order.
These aren't really. I didn't really put them in order. I've just put them. I just wrote reload low down actually. But just that I could just. I mean that guy, that tank. Wow, just well done, Abe. Solid tank, mate. It's not bad, is it?
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know. You can learn a lot from that guy.
Yeah, it completely.
Everyone can learn a lot from that guy.
And but the one thing I don't like about that tank is it's what I want my tanks to look like. So every time I look at my tank, I'm like,
it's not. Yeah, but he'll have that same feeling.
I bet. Yeah. Everyone does. I bet he has it less than most people, but everyone will be like. You have a stunning tank and you'll be like, I don't like the aquascape, or I don't like that fish, or that coral looks rubbish.
I wonder if he has it more than most people, because when you're at that level, so you know how those corals were fighting? That would bother me, and I would snip off the bits where they were fighting.
Yeah.
So
fair enough. All right.
Alex isn't lining yours up because he's cock blocking you.
Right, Alex isn't lining yours up because he's cock blocking you. Okay.
I'm not quite sure what that means, but
I know what cock blocking is. I don't think I'm doing it, but anyway.
Well.
All right. Let's end the poll. And we've got 75% Coral Euphoria, 24% Angelica's Reef, which, by the way, is no mean feat. If I was Angelica's Reef, I'd be all right with that. That's good going. And it's been universal praise. Everybody loves that tank as well. So. All right, what have you got next?
I'm going for David Saxby's tank.
Oh, Saxby!
I'm throwing the reefing hand grenade out there to see if that finally knocks you off your winning streak.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, I wonder what I should go for to go against this one. All right, and so this is Coral. What's his Coral Fish 12G's video? So I'm gonna have to skip through because he does a lot of the old talking to the camera, vlogging stuff. Come on, show us the tank, mate. Here we go. Oh, I'm not sure this. Here we go. Hang on. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. This is like it's like a small Polo's Reef, if you see what I mean.
It is, yeah.
and no one has ever described David Saxby's tank as small.
So the thing, this is like a million years old, this tank, and when it goes back onto the corals, how well grown out are those corals?
Yeah,
they're all huge.
See, that tank has good movement because of the gorgonians in it. It has like the impressiveness of the SPS. It even has like a wide range of like rare and interesting fish as well.
Yeah.
He obviously likes his tricolor tanks.
Big old toadstool mushroom of some kind.
Yeah. So, and I think he's definitely, that tank burst once. Did you know that?
Yeah. I heard.
Imagine that.
He was stood in a pool of water.
Yeah. But one of the things I like about this tank is it actually looks quite natural as a wall. It's like a wall of corals.
Oh, I see.
But you have so many different types all together. So you saw a minute ago there was a torch in the middle of all those SPSs.
Yeah. So I think that that this when you said natural, I thought you were going to say that this looks like this. For me, I look at this and I think this is the closest thing to a natural reef that I've seen. So you could go diving and you would see, I mean, not quite like that because there's a variety of corals, but it looks, because it's so well grown out and well established, that's what it looks like. The only thing I don't like about this is, and this is why I like small aquariums, I like so this he's got a load of, like that big staghorn top right corner. That's cool because it's got whatever fish they are. I can't remember what they're called now, but it's got a load of them. Sorry?
They're ghost cardinals, aren't they?
That's it. Yeah. So they're cool because they've got a load of them in it, and that's cool. But I don't really like big staghorn corals generally. And he's got and he had big stylos and all that sort of thing, and they're just not quite my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But in that size and that well grown out, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. But he's obviously been doing it a very, very long time.
Yeah. Well, this tank is years old, isn't it?
Yeah, and he also has, he's not short of a bit of money. Let's put it that way. So
all that algae, green hair algae.
I didn't see it. Where? Oh,
it was loads.
I think he's got the fish just right as well. Like not too many, not too outrageous. I don't think there's any coral eaters in there. Not that I saw.
There was a yellow long-nosed butterfly I saw.
Yeah, but even those is like semi-reef safe. And when you got that much coral, it's
yeah.
There's plenty for it to eat.
I do like his fish selection. Yeah, this is true. Oh, look, trackies. And yeah, do you know what? This is another tank that you said it, not too many, not too few. I think he's femininus ras. I think he's on the high side of fish, but I think it looks better for that. If you didn't have many fish in there, it wouldn't look that great. Whereas when you've got fish all over the place, constantly always swimming around, that looks wicked.
I would love to get a piece of that gorgonian. That gorgonian is massive. It grows so tall. That wasn't the one I was thinking of.
Okay,
but
I don't really like. I in this tank that big, they look cool, but I'm not a massive fan of gorgs generally.
I just think
look, they're all the same color. And I've ripped out parts of my aquascape before because it's all been the same color. In this tank, it's different, but this is why. So this is an amazing tank. But this isn't on my list for those reasons. Not that it's not an astonishing showcase tank that I would be lucky to have. That's pretty impressive.
That's a massive toadstool.
Yeah.
That's probably like 3 feet wide.
Oh yeah, and the rest. So, oh god, what am I going to put up against this one?
That is so diverse. If you think about that, I didn't see that. It actually see someone says better Polo's Reef. That's a controversial statement.
It's hard to choose. I think they're both pretty similar. Oh god, Polo's got better fish. I
like Polo's fish.
He's got some awesome fish. Though. He is my mate. Is he text me? No, he hasn't. He's no. So Polo's Reef Which is better, Polo's Reef or Saxby?
I wonder if he ever watches these and he goes, "Why do they always say that I'm his mate?"
He doesn't. He doesn't watch these.
He watched once, didn't he? That's how you got him on the stream.
But because he's been going on loads of streams over the last few months, and I bet because he said Alex invited me on, I bet he was like, I'll just drop onto here, say hello, and I'll say I want to come on. So I bet that was why he's not a Reef Dork fan.
No,
it'd be cool if you did, but no, I know you're not, you bastard. But okay, so all right, so that's the Saxby's tank. I'm going to go with against that. I'm going to put a trough, Chumingham's Reef.
Chummingham's Reef? That's a tough one because that's not really. That's like a top-down.
Well, that's why I called it a trough, because actually it has got glass all sides, but because of the height of the tank, it's all, you're always looking top down, and this is and because you can only see top down, it looks a little bit like a frag tank to me because you can't see the height difference of the corals and all those sorts of things. But with that being said, the colors this guy gets, his pH is like 35 or something ridiculous. I think it was like 9.1, so his pH is off the scale, and the colors on his acros and the torches on the left in the bottom corner there, just this is
but it's not Saxby's tank, is it?
Well, it's not Saxby's tank, but I would rather have a tank like that than Saxby's tank.
Oh, what is wrong with you? Sometimes my opinion of you just goes down.
Yeah, always.
But it just keeps getting lower and lower.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on to that bit. Look at that.
People are watching this and they're sending me pictures on Instagram saying for the win, and I'm looking at them going, I can't see why. Oh no, David, I've already got that one on my list. So someone called David's best. I'm just having a private conversation with David now.
Anyway, you need to focus, Ryan.
He's already got the one that he's suggesting, the one that I've, and a few different people are doing it. They're trying to get
never mind reading text. Not interested in that. But yeah, so the only thing I don't like about this tank is that you don't get to see it proper side on, but the corals, man, they're just so healthy and they grow like crazy. I think he has to frag them and sell them quite a lot. And he cuts scullies, and he cuts them.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, other people might not know, but I know what you're trying to say. So
cuts them in half, and then another bit of flesh grows on the other side.
Yeah.
And
then he cuts them in half again after that as well. And then when they heal with circles.
Yeah,
they heal much better as quarters but he doesn't ever cut them into quarters. He halves them, lets them heal, halves them again.
Yeah. Just that's that for me. That's a very impressive tank. What do you think? Who would you, if you were to vote for that? Presumably you think Saxby's is better.
I genuinely, I remember before I preferred Abe's tank, whereas I genuinely prefer.
I think I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think I prefer Saxby's. But
you put a poll out.
I have, yeah, and 80%, 83%. But Chumingham Reef is very impressive and it's very different. I like that it's different. But Saxby's tank, I wouldn't want Saxby's tank because it's too big for me. I would never want a tank that big, but I would like to see it because it's just so impressive. And this is the thing: if you ever go to a public aquariums in the UK, anyway, their tanks aren't very good. They're because they're not really about reef tanks.
No, I noticed that.
whereas Saxby's tank, that is public aquarium size. Only it's done by a reef keeper and it's done right.
There are some aquariums, like public aquariums in America, where they do really care. Look, I went to Brighton Aquarium, and where they first put in their new reef tank, and they had all these little frags in it, and it was supposed, and they were like, oh yeah, come back in a couple of years, see how they've all grown. I went back in a couple of years, it's still all frags. It was when I went back, so they literally just replaced the ones that had died.
I went there a while ago. There was Aptasia everywhere in their main tank.
I just we shouldn't really say this, but seriously, Brighton Aquarium, sort yourself out.
But the thing is, they're not aiming at people like you and me, are they? Like,
but it's not hard to put a fish in there that will eat the Aptasia.
But people will go in. People will go in with their kids and that, and they'll be like, "Oh, look at those brown wavy things." No one is going in, going, "Look, and they're ugly."
I have a vendetta against Brighton Aquarium because I applied for a job and they said no.
Exactly.
This was a long time ago. And I just think, look at me now, Brian Aquarium. Look at me now.
But yeah, it's but yeah,
I wonder
if
if they would hire me now. Probably not.
you're as their social media guy, maybe.
No.
Well, I'm going to end the poll, and I can accept defeat on that. 83% Saxby, 15%. That's ridiculous, right? By the way, so I know this YouTube algorithm polling thing is a bit weird. 100 votes exactly, and it can't work out. It says 83% and 15%. That's 2 out.
It was the job that I applied for was actually something to do with it was to do with designing aquariums, like designing the aquascapes of the aquariums. Yeah, and I thought I could do this, but I wasn't the right person for it. I was young at the time, and I'd only been doing it for a couple of years. But the only tank in Brighton Aquarium, if I had that job that would look good, would have been the reef tank. All the freshwater one, I'm like, yeah, don't worry about those. Not
interested in that. See, that's the thing. It's funny because some people are really into both sides, fresh and salt. Fresh just doesn't do anything for me. Like, it just
no.
I just it's weird, but all right. Anyway, so that's you've roundly won that one, which is fair enough. I can take that on the chin. How many have we got so far? We've done.
We're tied, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, we're 2-2. So technically, is this the last? Technically, this is the last one. So we'll make this the decider, and then we've both got a couple of other tanks that we will show and say, well, this cool as well. Oh, now I've got to choose which one I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for. Oh, do you want to go first?
No, sod off, because you're only doing this to try and beat me.
Okay, do you know what? I'm going to go for this one, which is this is Koralito, the Koralito on Instagram. You know him?
Yes.
And this is a video from.
Yes, I don't know him. That was a weird thing for me to say yes to.
I'm not asking if you know him as such. If you know the tank.
No, I don't. I think someone else mentioned him, and that's why I said yes. But I've never seen it myself. No.
Oh, okay. So this is an Instagram tank, and I think I'm right in saying that's his first ever tank. Let me just get a better shot up, because for a first ever tank, man, it's better than my first ever tank. Coral, I'm pretty sure I follow him. Let's have a look. Koralito.
This is unfair because I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to beat that tank.
Well, there you go. Oh my god! Do you know what? I'm gonna have to go back to this video because I can't find his page on Instagram. But it's pretty impressive.
That's why this is going to be a problem, because because I've only got pictures of the one I think that I was going to go for.
Do you know what people always say, or often people say, a mixed reef is harder than an SPS only reef? I don't think that's true, but look at this for a mixed reef. That is actually, this is all SPS this side, but he's got Softies on the left hand side on the wall, Zoas at the front corner there, Favia, and round the other side he's got a load of Euphoria. Here we go. Trumpets.
People are so desperate for me to win. They're literally texting me on WhatsApp now. Different suggestions.
Will you focus, for heaven's sake?
Sorry.
But yeah, and that Acantophilia, that's pretty nice. You don't see many Acantophilias. Load of hammers and torches, and this isn't even fully grown. I like the way. So he's done a peninsula, and this is the way you do peninsula. So it's angled both sides like a mountain. So you see corals all the way up both sides, and he's done the same at the front as well. It's like a Toblerone bar, his aquascape.
Yeah, it doesn't look like an awful lot of effort's gone into the aquascape. It looks like a pile of rocks in the middle of the tank.
What?
That's what it looks like.
Rich coming from you.
What do you mean?
You've put like 3 rocks in your aquascape.
Oh, well, yeah, at the moment. That's not done.
All right, then. Let's see what you've got then to put against the Koralito.
I don't think I can win this.
No, nor do I. But
there's 2. There's 2 that I was going to go for, but that's an interesting. This has just come up on Instagram. That's a cool picture. You can't see it properly. But
I've seen that reef chase. That is.
Yeah.
Focus.
I don't think they've given enough growing room on that. I'm going to go for Martin. I think it's _S_K. I think is what it is. Let me just double check. Yeah, Martin _S_K. Now, this is actually one that I had in mind already, but a few other people have messaged me Also, if I win this, remember last time what happened? There was a discount code, wasn't there?
Oh, I know this tank.
So-
Sea Friendly Reef did this tank. He's got
did they?
Kessels, Ryan.
Yeah, but Kessels are great lights.
I didn't
They're
think
like-
you liked them.
They're like, I love Kessel lights. It's basically to win. This is the picture I want you to show. This one, where it's all blue and bright and looks amazing.
Hang on. That one?
Any of these pictures look pretty good, although
It's a big tank. And
it's
this
a
actually,
big tank. Yeah, you
this
can
looks
see
a lot more grown out than when I last saw it. And I like the size of it. It's quite tall, but I think it would probably look a bit funny if it was smaller with those dimensions. What do
would
you like
rather-
about it?
I would genuinely rather have that tank than the one you just showed me. I like that it's a peninsula. I like you
Yeah,
can
okay.
get all the way around and you can see all the difference. I like the 3 different, like the separate rocks
Mhm.
with like the canyons in the middle.
Yeah.
The fish selection is quite interesting as well because it's got a few rabbit fish in there, which is unusual in a reef like that. I'm trying to think what rabbit fish they are. I can't remember the name of one of them, but one of them you've got one of them. You've got like a blue spot or something, haven't you?
Variegated rabbit fish. The one I've got that you're thinking of.
Is that the one with blue spots?
No, it's not blue spots. I found a video.
Whoa,
This is an
whoa,
old
whoa,
video.
whoa. That's a really old video.
You're winning the thing. Chill
Am
out.
I?
Yeah, but I wanted to show an actual video. This is Sea Friendly Reef.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
this
if I'm winning,
yeah.
I don't need to say anything else. I might talk myself out of it.
This tank is too big. I don't like a tank that size. Oh, hang on. I don't want
Look
to
at all
close
that. That means it's probably going to be silent as well.
it. Yeah, well.
But-
As much as anything, it's his room. It looks like a cool piece of furniture, doesn't it?
And
I do like the three however many islands he's got. A big one at the back, small one in the middle, and then a few small ones at
yeah,
ones
the
at the front.
the 3 at the front where
This
there's
is like
all
yeah,
a triangle. I like.
that's like grand designs kind of stuff, isn't it? That's not a bad tank. I'll give you that. It's very nice. But I wouldn't have chosen that because the thing is, you seem to like the difference between you and me is you like big tanks. I don't like big tanks.
I love big tanks. Basically, the bigger. If I could have a tank which was 8 foot, 12 foot, any of them, I would have them. The only thing which I wouldn't have is a deep tank. I would have a 12-foot tank. Yeah, tall. I'd have a 12-foot tank, which is deep as well, but not at all. I would keep it no taller than a normal. I want to be able to touch the bottom of the tank.
Look at the size of those tanks.
I know.
Oh, those are the gold-spotted rabbitfish.
Yes.
No,
yeah.
I don't have those. That's not my cup of tea. It's a lovely tank, but that wouldn't crack my top 10 tanks.
Well,
personally, it's mostly soft as well.
I just like it. So
yeah, exactly. And I'm not arguing, and you've won, and I think that's fair. I think that's a decent answer. But that isn't just I don't know. It's the big tank thing for me. That tank. What I said, my dream tank would be 6 by 2 by 3.
Yeah.
Length by height by width, 6 by 3 by 2 then. And that's too big for me, just not to my
The
taste.
first angry person just come into the chat say, "Where's my tank?"
Oh no! So I
we knew this would happen.
Told you there'd be people tuning in to check them out.
You know what
Stephanie, go on.
Oh no, you knew this already. And I have even wrote it down. I was going to put forward your tank, so you would have to tell everyone how shit your tank was.
That's fine. I can do that. That's easy. Actually, so Queen of Reef, I thought about putting your tank on there. I looked at you did a write-up recently for Ecotech, I think. I looked at your nano tank, and I also looked at your current tank as well. It's not quite grown out enough. But you've got some lovely torches and that stuff in it.
I would like to do this again, but not with those sort not with just massive tanks. I want to do it where someone has where the whole tank is like scollies, or the whole so like an interesting tank, or the whole tank is butterfly fish, or you know what I mean, or someone's got this little tiny tank that's growing acros in, or something like that, because it makes it stand out.
Well, that's what I did. You just cheated, basically.
No, I didn't. I just went with the crowd, everyone else's suggestions, and just went with those.
I'm going to show you the other tank that this is a tank from Ultimate Reef, and this is actually one of my favorite tanks. And if I'm honest, I prefer this to the Koralito. I just thought the Koralito might have a better chance of winning. This is guys. His Ultimate Reef name is /Halen.
I would have gone for that over the Koralito one, definitely.
Yeah, maybe. I prefer this. I just thought the other one might be more popular. But the aquascape. I'll show you the aquascape before. You would never. That's the aquascape. If I put that together, I would think that looks shit, and yet it ended up with the perfect coral growth. It's just that is amazing.
Yeah.
And they're all so well. They've grown out mostly the same size, so you've not got one that's massive and one that's tiny. They're all really packed in. That is the thing is with this tank is wind forward 2 years and it would be a nightmare. But that is the perfect time because it's grown out too much. But that's just such a fantastic tank.
I feel like you cheated yourself because that was the one you should have gone with.
Maybe, yeah. But either way, I love that tank. I think that's a wicked tank. It's got an acantophilia. It's got a copper band.
I also like tanks where they're not trying to be anything special. Like that, if you look at the corals in that tank, they're just normal corals, most of them.
Purple stylo.
Yeah, purple
stylo there.
Staghorn. Like, yeah, they're just normal corals that are grown out to look impressive. So that I quite like tanks that are like that, rather than loads of little tiny sticks of multiple different colors. If you see what I mean. Yeah,
but then I prefer what you've just described. Lots of small multicolor acros, and yet looking at that, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. There was another one that I thought of. Do you remember I said Jamie and I discussed it earlier, and I had looked at it last night.
Yeah.
And he reminded me. It's called Reef. Is it Fossum? So REEF and then FOSSUM. This is a guy who I don't think is like David Saxby. I don't think he's like Polo. I think he's someone who just likes I think he's a relatively normal person. I don't think he's like a multi. I don't know, but I think he just really, really likes his fish tank, and what he's done there is amazing. And I love the aquascape.
See, I don't like that.
Well,
dog.
What about the dog? Do you like the dog?
No.
Why don't you like it?
I don't like small dogs. I don't like dogs.
Not the dog. The
right.
Fish tank.
Because big. I don't like big tanks, and
look at that staghorn at the top.
Exactly.
It looks amazing.
Big staghorn. That, to be fair, that in a smaller tank would look wicked. Dog again. He likes his dog, doesn't he?
Well, it's on repeat, isn't it?
Oh, maybe, yeah. It's like me with my cat, though.
But not just that. Look at the fish that's in there. Look at the angels that are in there. He's got a big majestic in there somewhere. Moorish idol.
A couple of Moorish idols there. Cool.
Yeah.
A lot of softies that I'm not really into. That's not my cup of tea again. That's all.
I've considered putting that one up against your last one.
Yeah, okay.
But again, it was just a big tank, and I just thought I'd rather go with the tank that.
But this is the reason I don't like that is because it's a big tank. I don't like big tanks. Just don't do anything for him.
It would be a pain. He's in his wetsuit or something in one of the pictures. It's a pain in the ass to win, to clean.
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe not wetsuit. That's going to be me and Jamie's tank soon.
Yeah, indeed. Let me ask. Let's see if people like big or small tanks. Which do you prefer? Massive. Prefer massive tanks or just big tanks? Because I just those tanks that size just don't do anything for me.
I worked out from doing this that there has to be something, because obviously I saw lots of nice tanks.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be something which stands out to me that makes me go, why? Like, what makes this unique or hard or difficult to keep?
Okay.
What makes it exceptional? It doesn't have to be like the best corals, it doesn't have to be the best fish, but something about this tank makes it exceptional, if you see what I mean.
Yep.
And that's what. So if you showed me a nano tank with low tenuous in it, that would have been at the top of my list. Pirate something. Is it Pirate Reef or something? I'm sure he has a tank that's relatively small that has loads of, or Pirate Cove or something like that.
I don't know anything about that. And first up, just to post this quickly. This is an aside. Tenerife is not in Europe. It is. It's part of Spain. It might not be located within continental Europe, but anyway.
I like have all the comments. That was the one that you're like, I have to inform people.
Yeah, no, but yeah, anyway. But congratulations to Ryan. So well done for winning. And we've got a few more tanks as well. Have you got any others? I've got.
I just showed you the one. I just showed you that Reef Fossum, and also I said I was going to put your one in as well. So you never showed your one.
My tank.
Yeah, I think it's. Let me tell you why I think your tank's amazing, just to like make you feel better. Make you feel better. I actually don't. I didn't really see this one as a competition one, and I'll be honest with you.
No, me neither. No.
Some of the suggestions came from Jamie. So
okay,
if I hadn't done my homework earlier, I wouldn't have picked those ones probably.
Yeah.
So
is that it?
No, I was waiting. I was waiting for a picture of your tank to come up.
Oh, I'm struggling to find a. The trouble is,
with all my footage I normally have to find a video of your tank.
No. Here we go.
Well, the first thing I love about your tank is the wallpaper behind it, because it looks like that bird is almost like standing on the acropora. Oh,
he's a handsome
man as well.
He is.
This
is before one of my rescapes, by the way.
I can't tell you why. Every time I see your tank, I'm just so impressed with it. Genuinely so impressed. I think it's because the colors it's hard for me to even describe it, because the video there is not actually a great video of your tank.
It looks rubbish. This is one of the reasons I want to change my lights. Is when I go to video it at the moment, I think it doesn't look right.
It's definitely the corals choices. Used to have, I think it might have died actually now, but you had a big pink coral in the front.
Yeah,
it stripped that was amazing. But I've seen loads of tanks, and I'd never seen one that was quite like yours when I first saw it. Now it's a bit meh. But yeah, I wish that I could grow those acroporas like you. Genuinely.
Yeah, okay. This is a good top-down photo video.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that Monty, by the way. That thing has taken over.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what is this an old video?
Can you talk for a second? I've got a fish tank alarm going off. Hang on.
Oh, is it you? I was wondering if it's me that's where it's going off. I was like wondering why it was going off. Anyway, so I can tell people about, while I've got to talk about, oh, you're back. There you go. That was quick.
Sorry, I've just chucked you. I don't know what it was. I think it might have been in the ATO.
I thought it was something that I had done here today, because we were putting the equipment on the new tech today. So
right, okay. But yeah, no, it's so this actually it's looking better in this video than it was in the last one. It just doesn't look quite right. But and this is one of the most recent videos I've taken. And you don't like this. There are a couple of things I do like. That is a proper size colony. A couple of really nice colony size pieces. But one of the problems with this tank is the bottom island there, that has been in there from day one.
Yeah.
The island on the left is new. The island on the right is really new.
It's all grown out of different.
Yeah, and so it looks a little bit weird. And so what I'd really like to do is strip out that island in the middle as well. But I don't want to lose that awesome 5-year-old coral colony. So it's a funny tank, mine, because it's just kind of it's all put together at different times, and I've kind of, as I've gone along, get my damn beeping again. What is that?
It sounds like the auto top up. That's the flow.
Oh, it's okay. It's coming from the video. It's coming from the video. That's hilarious. It's because. That's so funny, but it's because this is top down, so it means I've turned my return pumps off, so the Tunzi alarm is going off. Anyway,
isn't it funny how I knew exactly what that alarm was, and it was the Tunzi auto top up? It's like been etched into my brain.
Yeah.
Someone's just said coral fish
exactly.
Zoa, coral_fish _Zoa, and there are some amazing tanks on that, and that's what I meant in terms of like interesting tanks. They are like the tank. Yeah. So he's got, in one of them, he's got a floating shelf just covered in scollies, and another one has got an interesting aquascape. The first picture.
So this, and then this is another one. Yeah, I'll bring it up. So this is another one that it's a bit clinical, but I like these. I appreciate this more than some of the other ones. That's quite cool. Although I'm not
That's what I mean by
on the
quirky
floating
tank.
aquascape. Quirky, yeah. So this is a person who's kept a lot of tanks for a long time, and he's like, I want to do something different.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. I think I like for some reason I like the first aquascape probably the most, and then the Scullies, and then that one last probably. But yeah, I just like that for some reason.
What I like about that is that everything's all packed in. So you can't see any rock on that. It's just covered in coral.
Yeah.
So it's a nicely grown out tank.
I can't see a single fish.
No, that's weird.
It's just two starfish and a snail.
Yeah, okay. See, I really like my fish choices now as well. Actually, he doesn't like fish, does he? Look at that.
No, he hates fish.
There's one there. That's a hawkfish. That's a 6-line wrasse.
Hawkfish are terrible fish.
Hawkfish are wicked.
No. Well, wait 1 second. You won the fish one? There you go. You can have that.
Another one. So this was another tank that I was going to put up, as one of the ones that I really like. And this was a tank of the month on Reef2Reef.
Yeah.
And I just like how blue it looks, how glowing it looks. But this is a better under white light. Sorry. And again, it's just packed out. That's a nice one. That's a good photo of it. Packed full of SPS. I like the aquascape, nice and sloping up.
The colours are really interesting. Like on that picture.
That's probably partly to do with the photography. I'm not saying he's polished it. I'm just saying sometimes cameras make the tank look a little bit different.
I've never seen a reef tank that looks like that, even when you use an orange filter. So whatever filter they're using, it makes it look different.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. But it's a lovely tank, and he's got some lovely colours and some very healthy corals in there as well. I don't know who this guy is, to be honest. I can't even see his name. And he uses a lot of T5s plus a load of royal blue LEDs. Can't be royal blue LEDs. But that was another good one. I can't remember. Let me find out what his name is so I can give him a shout out. Alex and R. Feist is his name.
Don't know.
And then the only other one, and actually this doesn't look as good as I thought it did back in the day, but this is Dmitry Tumanov's Red Sea Reefer 250.
That's cool. I quite like that.
So I used to really like this, and I think actually maybe it's just this particular video isn't great. And and there's probably another video where it's more grown out, but that scape when it was grown out made the corals look wicked. It was really impressive. And let's see, I couldn't find a more recent video, but it's wicked. Very
the
good.
Reason I'm looking away is because there's another one I've just thought, which is there was someone who his name was sodium chloride on Instagram, but it had like numbers in it, so I'm trying to find it now.
Okay.
Because that one is that his old tank was well worth showing. It crashed, unfortunately. There's some of these absolutely insanely like beautiful tanks full of like acros and everything. Some days they just crash, don't they?
So sometimes all crash. It doesn't have to be just acro tanks. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just crash.
Trust me, it fills me with fear every time I walk into the coral room every day. That's actually true.
Yeah.
Every single day I open that door every morning and go, is today going to be the day? Nope, it's a good day.
Yeah, there you go. So I don't have that. I do if I come back from a couple of weeks away or whatever. But I don't tend to get that. There was one more as well. Was there one more? Oh, no, that was that one. But there were loads of other little. Is that everything I have on my list? Yeah.
I found that sodium chloride person.
Is this on Instagram?
Yeah, it's S
NAC. Sorry.
No. So it's S0.
Yeah.
DIUM.
DIUM for Mike.
Yeah.
Underscore. Oh, I found him.
Yeah.
Found him. Oh, you could have just said sodium chloride with a 0. Oh, that's quite impressive. Let's pull that up.
That tank crashed. The one that I think what you're looking at, that crashed, I think. Because then he stripped everything out. He last posted on the 20. Well, no, so he posted on the 5th of November, and the tank looks half empty. So yeah, but his old tank, that was the tank I aspired to have.
This is 4 years old. Yeah.
One of the things which was so impressive by that tank was actually the zoas, because zoas will all grow into each other, and eventually you just get one zoa, and all the others are hidden. Whereas his seems, and I'm going to try this in the angelfish tank. I'm going to have a rock for each individual type of zoa.
Yeah, okay.
Keep them far away from each other so they can't grow into each other, and then just trim them back, but have them close enough so it looks like they're together.
Okay,
So,
that looked quite cool.
Yeah,
but I'm not that taken by that tank.
Oh, I liked it a lot. I used to think to myself, if one day if I have a tank that looks that good, then I'll be very lucky.
Yeah, okay, it's fine. Nothing wrong with it. It's a nice tank. I'm not saying it's a bad tank. It's just, again, that's just like, yeah, it's all right. And I bet it wouldn't look that great under white lights.
I don't know. Someone said I vote Alex looks at some softies reef, but I don't. If someone can give us someone give us a suggestion in the chat. One of you must know of a really interesting tank that we haven't spoken about.
Softies are they just don't do anything for me. they give me a softie.
Like Queen of Reef's trying to get back in. She's like, please just mention my tank.
That wasn't a couple of people have mentioned Parker's Reef as well, actually. And Parker's Reef is Parker's Reef. Parker's Reef is a very nice tank. Let me see if I can pull up a video. I don't know if when did he do one recently? Here we go. 2-year update on his tank. This Here She Be. And this is a very nice tank, to be fair. This is probably up my street. Although he's just standing in front of it. Sam, get out of the way, mate. Where are you?
Do you think a lot of tanks look the same?
What do you mean? Yes, because they're reef tanks.
But they, like, a lot of the tanks that we've shown today, you could take a section out of that tank and put it into a different tank, and you would never know that it was from a. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of them look very similar. That's why I wondered if like a quirky reef tank show off, or with the Reefers. I like these ones because they're weird.
Yeah, okay, I get that, and that's why that's like that guy with the coral fish, whatever it was, Zoa, whatever the guy, like with the pristine tanks. That's what I mean about him. So he's gone through. He's like you. He's been in the hobby for 1,000 years, and he's like, I'm bored of just normal reef tanks. I want to do something different.
Let's get an angelfish.
But I don't really get that. I'm like, it's all right. Who else? Inappropriate reef drop was that? What? Inappropriate reefs. Was inappropriate reefs drop off. Oh, drop off. Sorry. Right. I don't remember that tank.
There was a really amazing drop off tank that was on Ultimate Reef as well. But
Chopsy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Ultimate Reef.
I've not been on the Ultimate Reef for a long time.
Yeah. He shut that down a while ago. He was never happy with it. And it was one of those tanks that it was like, he would always say he was never happy with it, and everybody else was like, "Are you kidding? That's one of my favorite tanks."
They had a serious algae problem or something at first, like some weird invasive algae. I can't remember what it was. I think I seem to remember. Maybe if it's the same tank I'm thinking of.
He's got a 235-page thread on Ultimate Reef. I can't find
just a single picture.
Shot. Yeah, but he did a double drop-off tank as well. That was awesome. Although he shut that down relatively early, so it didn't properly grow out, but it looked really cool. I think I saw it in the flesh once. Yeah.
The problem with drop-off tanks, they're a nice idea, and on a small drop-off tank, it's not a problem. But when they're deep drop-offs, getting the right light down to the tank at the bottom and not killing the corals at the top.
This wasn't that bad. This was only relatively small, 2 feet tall or something like that. So
that wasn't the one I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. But that's quite cool.
Inappropriate did have a drop-off tank. He was trying to grow. He struggled to grow green star polyps in the bit at the bottom.
Okay.
And he worked out there was because it needs flow. So because the drop-off bit at the bottom was so like dead of flow, the green star polyps just would not grow.
How funny. Why not just put a powerhead down there?
He did in the end, I think.
Okay. This one?
Yeah, it is that one. It's not an amazing tank. I just remember it.
Again, a lot of softies. Don't do it for me.
The tank that he had that I used to love was the one that he had with Mochi in. He had a frogfish. And what was so interesting about that tank, and that was the only reason I kept going back all the time to watch it. He used to feed the frogfish damselfish.
Oh, I don't
And
like
it would eat the damselfish every
Yeah.
single time, except I wasn't watching it because I was watching it eat the damselfish.
No.
There was one damselfish that it wouldn't eat. It basically, I'm not joking, it basically became
just
friends with this damselfish.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, it just would not eat it. And every time I watched it was to see if that damselfish had been eaten yet. Which is, if you think about it, what probably has happened, he replaced the damselfish every time, but kept people coming back to see if it'd been eaten.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't like it. Like fish, like predator fish, I don't like watching fish eat other fish, and especially when a fish is put in to be consumed by another fish. I know it's like it's just natural and all that sort of stuff. It's just there's something about it I don't like it.
No, as I said, the thing that was most interesting was it was defying nature, because why would it not eat that one fish?
There was a David Attenborough thing I saw a while ago where this a lion didn't eat an onyx. Onyx, yeah, it was like a deer basically.
Yeah,
and it was just like it looked after this baby onyx. It was cool. Well, so I guess it's kind of like, although he probably ate it. He probably ate it 6 months down the line, but still, it's funny that, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, okay. Well, there we go. So I mean, those are all of the tanks that I wanted to go out, wanted to show. Were there any others that you wanted to talk about?
Not for me, if I'm honest. As I said to you at the beginning, like I still feel great. So if I'm happy to stay, but I don't. If you want to,
we'll wrap it up.
Come to a natural end, then I'm happy to do that as well.
I do, because we've covered off all the tanks, and actually, I think an hour and a half is a really good time. Oh, I've just realized I haven't ended the poll. 17 minutes.
Sometimes with these streams, you can tell you feel like, yes, this could go on for much longer, and it whereas this one, your thing's gone up behind you.
Hey!
One sec. I need to quickly log on just to see.
It doesn't. You can save your time. It doesn't update immediately. Doesn't it? It updated ages ago. And I'm at 55,501 now. So actually, just first off on this, I've had a headache today as well, by the way. So
I thought we were both not as good on this stream as usual.
You weren't in particular. I was brilliant.
Well,
but no,
you might be brilliant, but not with your selections.
No, I felt I didn't feel great with that headache. I don't know why. Anyway, so I asked the question: what do you prefer, just big tanks or massive tanks? 80% prefer just big tanks, 20% massive tanks, which makes sense because it's what most people have got.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we'll wrap it up in that case, and we'll come back next week and we'll do something else. I don't know what yet, but we'll do it. So cool.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming along, Ryan. Thank you everybody for watching and joining in. I missed a lot of comments today, so apologies for that. But I'll watch it again later and I'll catch up with the chat.
We'll be back to our normal selves next week, hopefully.
We'll have some Red Bull. So
true.
All right. Cheers, guys. See you.
See you later.